Hello and welcome to ATI 4640. To continue with the top 10 decisions for the operations manager, we have to discuss process strategy. In our discussion, we will include different process strategies such as process focus, repetitive focus, uh, product focus, and mass customization focus. The session will also discuss selection of equipment, process analysis and design, production technology, and process redesign. There will be special consideration for service process strategies and the type of technologies that will be used in services. Harley-Davidson is an example of a company who implements process strategies as the only major US motorcycle company. This company emphasizes quality and lean manufacturing. They implemented the materials as needed system where they have the ability to create many variations, but they will have a tight schedule and repetitive production. This is the flow diagram representing the processes at Harley-Davidson Company, and we will discuss more about the process strategy used at a later slide. The objective of the process strategy is to create a process to produce offering that meets customer requirements within cost and other managerial constraints. Actually, process strategy addresses how to produce a product or provide a service that meets or exceeds customer requirements with the proper cost and according to manager goals. The process strategy has long-term effect on efficiency and production flexibility. Also, it affects cost and quality. This figure shows a graph that represents product variety versus product volume. The graph also shows where to find different strategies relative to both volume and variety. You can see the process focus can be located in the first quarter while repetitive in the middle. So it depends on what kind of strategy you are going to follow, or it depends on the volume and the variety of the products that you are using. You can select the strategy that will fit into your company or your organization. There are four process strategies. Process focused strategy, which stresses on low volume, high variety, such as carpentry, where the strategy allows customization. The repetitive focus, it stresses, or it's a strategy that stresses on repeating processes using modules such as automobile and household appliances. It has more structure and less flexibility than process focused production. The product focused strategy stresses on high volume, low variety, where facilities are organized around the products such as glass, paper, and light bulbs. These processes are also called continuous processes because they have a very long continuous production runs. And the last one is mass production focus, which stresses on high volume, high variety of goods and services. It's considered rapid, low-cost production of goods and services that fulfill unique customer desire, such as Dell Corporation, and the high volume with high variety of personal computer options. So again, for process focused strategy, facilities are organized around the specific activities or processes. You need general purpose equipment and skilled personnel to accomplish the different activities or execute processes. It involves a lot of customization, which gives the product high degree of flexibility, typically high cost and low equipment utilization. Product flows may vary considerably, making planning and scheduling a challenge. This figure shows an example of a process-focused strategy at Arnold Palmer Hospital. In the process-focused strategy, we have many inputs and many different outputs. Each patient will be routed differently and might go through many departments or many different procedures. For a repetitive focus strategy, facilities often organized as assembly line, characterized by modules with parts and assemblies made previously. Modules may be combined for many output options. Less flexibility than process-focused facilities, but more efficient. This figure shows repetitive focus, which is repeating processes using modules where you have different modules input that is being assembled into few modules, and those modules have been combined or will be combined for many output options. The repetitive focus strategy at Harley-Davidson assembly line it takes different models such as oil tanks, handlebars, wheels, fuel tanks, and many other modules to combine them and to create many outputs or many options for motorcycles. In product focus strategy, the facilities are organized by product. This strategy will be dealing with high volume but low variety of products. Most likely the company will have long continuous production runs to enable efficient processes. This strategy is typically associated with high fixed cost but low variable cost. Generally, less skilled labor will be needed for product focused approach. The figure here represents Frito-Lay plant with the focus around the product this time, which is the potatoes. There are few inputs needed in addition to the potatoes, such as corn, water, and seasoning to create a variety of outputs in size, shape, and packaging. For mass customization, the strategy stresses on fast production with low cost for both goods and services, which satisfies unique customer desire. One of the main features of mass customization strategy that it combines the flexibility of a process focus with the efficiency of a product focus. A very good example of use of mass customization strategy is the Dell Computers company. Their strategy was to create a process that will focus on customers directly through building what customers needs. What customer need, when they need it, and with fast response and low cost. The process has been integrated through the company's website, from the browsing to selecting to customizing to ordering to paying, all online and within a few minutes. Not only that, but Dell also focused on software design to be simpler and faster for configuration purposes. The current mass customization provides choices more than ever. The table on this slide compares the number of choices for some products between the 1970s and the 21st century. Some products went from 0 choices to millions or even billions over the years and in the 21st century. Actually, we can look at the mass customization as a collection of characteristics that is being learned from different strategies, such as modular techniques from repetitive focus, the effective scheduling techniques from process focused, and the rapid throughput techniques from the product focused strategies. This will make the process design flexible and imaginative. In addition, it will have tight schedules and limited inventory. This strategy will require responsive partners in the supply chain to be able to meet the tight schedule. You need good suppliers or good vendors to provide you with the material when needed. This slide and the next three slides is a table that shows the differences between the four strategies. The comparison is based on quantity of products, skills requirements, the instructions for each job, the inventory finished goods, scheduling, and fixed cost and the variable cost. So you can see the differences in the instruction, the inventory, the finished goods, the scheduling, and the fixed cost and the variable cost. Actually, the selected process strategy can change based on the volume or number of units produced. These slides provide an example that uses a crossover chart to evaluate three different accounting software packages or products. Knowing the fixed cost, it's given here in the example, and cost of producing one unit accounting report, we can calculate the crossover points between the three accounting software packages. Crossover means the total cost of the two products will be the same, will be equal at that point. So equating the cost of using software A and the cost of using software B, assuming that the number of products reports that will be produced is variable V1, and solving for V1, we can get the 2857. In this case, software A is the most efficient or economical selection from 0 to 2857 reports. Then equating the total cost of B and C and solving for the variable 2, V2, we get 6666, which means that software B is most economical or efficient or cost effective from 2857 to 6666 reports. This figure shows the three alternative processes compared on a single chart that is called crossover chart, and just from the chart you can see that process A has the lowest cost under V1, process B has the lowest cost between V1 and V2, and process C has the lowest cost above V2. So depending on the volume of the number of reports produced, we can choose the suitable process with the lowest cost or the suitable software package with the lowest cost. Focused processes brings efficiency. So it's better to focus on the depth of a product line, such as Frito-Lay potatoes. They have one product variety of chips rather than breadth of the product, where we have variety of products in different areas, such as like skincare, hair care, nail care, and other products. All that's breadth. That's called breadth of product, where when you concentrate like potato chips, you are concentrating on one product, which is the potatoes, but in depth, where you have a variety of chips just from that potato chips. Focus can be on customers such as hotels and restaurants. It can be on products such as just producing pest control material. You could also concentrate on services such, I will be providing only one service, such as hernia surgeries, just a hospital or a clinic that provides only hernia surgeries. We could also concentrate on or focus on technology, such as focusing on producing CPUs, just CPUs, and nothing else, and that is concentrating on one technology. Selecting the proper equipment for a process could be complex. Selecting criteria or selection criteria and evaluation process should be in place to evaluate alternative options and select based on certain factors such as cost, quality, flexibility, and other related factors, just to make sure that we are selecting the proper equipment for the process that will be used in that process. When we say flexibility, flexibility means the ability to respond with little penalty in time cost or customer value. Although it might be difficult and expensive, but it might provide competitive advantage in the market, especially if we are talking about a global market. Without flexibility, change could mean starting over. If you don't have flexibility in the system and you cannot change frequently, then if you need to change, then you have to start from scratch. You have to wipe whatever you have right now and start all over again. To analyze the current processes and design better processes, we can do the following, or we can answer the following questions. Is the process designed to achieve a competitive advantage? Does the process eliminate steps that do not add value? Does the process maximize customer value? Will the process win orders? Can we bring orders in? Are we adding orders, or there is no ordering in the system? All these will answer. If we answer those questions, we will know if the process is or the group of processes that we have are doing good or not. To analyze the process, we can draw flowchart diagram that can show the material movement or information movement. We can also map flows to time frames through time functions or time function mapping, or by using value stream mapping, which includes all value added beyond the immediate organization. In these charts, the diagram special symbols are used to show key activities. So what we're going to do in this session, we are going to address the flowchart, time function mapping, and some other graphs, but we will leave the value stream mapping to the next session. This figure shows a time function mapping diagram that maps the process of ordering a product as a function of time. The customer will place the order and the salesperson will process that order, and that will take 12 days. It will wait for 13 days in the production control to schedule the activities needed for production and find the resources required. Then it will be sent to plant A for printing, which will take only 1 day. After it's done, it will be sent to the warehouse, where it sits there for 4 days until it's been transported to plant B. It stays in plant B warehouse for 10 days, then it will be extruded. That is a 1-day process. Then back to the warehouse to be sent to the customer, which will take another day. That is 52 days time frame from the time of order until the time of receiving the final product. Looking at the previous time function mapping, we found that lots of time is wasted just waiting in the warehouse. If we can move the extrusion to the same plant and schedule everything to be done within the same day, the whole process will take only 6 days instead of 52 days. There is no need for waiting in the warehouse. Or even if we have waiting, then it will be for a few days or fewer days than 10 or 13 or 15 days. So the time function mapping assisted us to analyze the process and identify the problems that's delaying the production, and provided the recommendation to improve the process. And this is the value of mapping those functions within the company. Another tool that we mentioned was the process chart. This figure shows a process chart for hamburger assembly, and you can using this chart and symbols, we can identify the stage where the assembly is, including time passed in minutes and distance traveled. Using this chart, we can eliminate non-value added activities and improve on the process to make the service faster. Again, we will continue addressing tools using or used to analyze processes for the next session. But for now, that will be all for the session. So if you have any questions, please feel free to use any of the provided channels to ask your question. And thank you and have a great day.